Hello there, and welcome back to Empower Your Soul. Today, I have the lovely Katie here, and we're going to do this really individual spin on some of her questions that she has. Thank you so much for being here, Katie.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And this is going to, and we just chatted quickly because I want to get really into the meat really quickly with Katie. I don't know, there's something must be about your energy, Katie, because I feel like you are ready to go. Like your energy just gives me ready to go. And before I even had you hop on the Zoom call, I just felt like very not anxious. I wouldn't say anxious was the word, but I felt very like motivated. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do all the work that I need to do. I just need to know what direction to go in. Would that be fair with you?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Mhm.
So the two things we started chatting about beforehand was your business with your husband and looking for maybe a little bit of guidance there in terms of financial stability, profitability, that kind of thing. And then also your personal life with your kind of poetry work there, which is super cool. And Katie just informed me she released her second book yesterday as of this recording. Holy moly, that's amazing, Katie.
It's it's frightening but fun.
So I will, if you send me that link, Katie, I'll add it to the show notes so people know where to get your books
Oh, that'd be awesome.
or to
Yeah.
purchase these. That would be amazing. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to let Spirit. They want to start with number two first. So they want to talk about you and your poetry first, and then we'll scoot back to your business item here. So let me ask your team, and I feel like we're kind of half in the Akashic records, half not. I'm not sure. This is coming from a whole collective of individuals here on the other side, Katie. But you have really put in the work, and I know that you have put in the work with your poetry work, but what I have to tell you is you've essentially put it out there and wanted to just say like, here it is, world. If it's meant for me, it's meant for me.
Right.
And I absolutely love that about you, that you have such faith, but there is going to be have some work that you have to do in order to make this to be successful for you in the poetry space, because
Yes.
I see that you don't want to be seen, period.
Wow. That's 100%.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna put this out. I would be even, I'm gonna see. I feel like there is a photo of you, maybe in like the back or on the back cover, but it's definitely not front and center.
I don't have a photo of me
No,
on
there it is.
the books.
There it is. Okay, so that speaks volumes because I'm seeing like if there is one, it's way in the back and you are covering it. So there is no photo. So that checks out for me because as Spirit's kind of showing me this poetry work, it's like I'm gonna shut the shades for me as I'm gonna stay private. I don't want people to associate that book with like me as a person because this is my passion and you like to keep you a little bit separate from your passion, which is cracking me up because it's poetry.
Yeah.
Because poetry is the expression of your soul.
Yes. I think that's what makes it so scary.
Right. It's vulnerable. It's
Yeah.
people seeing you as a soul in this work. And
Yeah.
so by you not putting your picture out there, by you don't even post about this stuff like on social media. You don't have a social media account for like this poetry stuff.
I do, but I haven't posted on it
Oh,
and
so there it is.
yeah.
Because I'm just seeing like it's not out there. You're not advertising it.
Right.
Okay. So this is your next step because I see that this really is your dream. Like this is really what lights you up and makes you so happy and so excited. And obviously, because you've already gone through the hoops to write these poetry books, to get these poetry books published,
Right.
but you might as well start to advertise it and show the people who you are. And as I'm saying that, I'm hearing spirit probably in the voice in your head challenge me and saying, but I don't deserve it. I don't want people to see me. I don't feel like I'm worthy of it. Who am I? Because you feel for you, you feel like plain Jane. You're like, I'm everybody. There's nothing special about me,
Right.
but there's everything special about you. Everything is special about you. And that's what makes all of us these unique, wonderful souls is that we all bring amazing, special gifts to the table. And just because you might not have had the most tumultuous life, you didn't have major, toxic family thing. Maybe you did. I don't know. Just because you didn't have some of the big problems that other people has does not mean that your story is any less worthy. because some of the most beautiful souls, and I love every soul that comes across my desk, my computer over here, but some of the most beautiful souls are the ones that are here to be the soul that other people emulate. The soul that leads the way, that is the lighthouse, that doesn't have a lot of things that happen to them, but they still are that safe space for other people. They still stand up tall and show, no matter who you are, it's still hard to do this stuff. It's very hard to be brave, and that's who you are.
Right.
Because they're showing me there's nothing, there's no, I'm going to say there's no logical reason why you would want to hide besides you don't feel good enough.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's no logical reason. It's not like I don't know. You probably have stage fright and all these things, right? Like which go into like you not wanting to be seen, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like I worked through a lot of those things. I took like
Good.
so I could like do speeches and like talk in front of crowds. But then I think if I'm out front and center in a group, I'm okay. But it's like putting it on that little tiny screen online is scarier
Yeah.
than standing up in front of a crowd.
It is so scary because there's so many trolls on the internet.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who are going to judge you by the split second of your
Right.
picture, of your poetry. And so this is really an opportunity for you to continue to grow in that space and really be bulletproof in terms of other people's beliefs, thoughts, verbalizations at you. Because here's the difference between you and the rest of the world, Katie. You know who you are. You know who you are, but you're also a huge empath. So you can't internalize what other people think of you because you know who you are. So I'm not saying you can't, because you probably do that way too much right now as you internalize what other people like think of you or other people's emotions.
Right.
And so avoidance is your easiest way around that.
For sure. 100%. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to challenge you and I'm going to say your reward is going to be so much bigger than your risk if you put yourself out there.
Okay.
Because the reward that you're going to get, we already talked about the risk. The risk is the people that are going to judge you and say negative things about you and maybe not like you, right?
Right.
The reward is going to be people are going to say, me too. I love this. I can feel your passion. I can feel your love. I can feel your joy. I can feel the emotions you're trying to relay here in this amazing poem. And so not only that, because your poetry is amazing, but your story, Spirit is highlighting your story to get to the poetry is equally amazing.
And I think that's something that's holding me back.
Okay.
Yeah. Because parts of the story are not fully mine to share.
Okay.
So I can't share those parts, if that makes sense. And I feel like those parts are what made it like come to
Good.
pass
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning.
I would agree, but I'm also being challenged by Spirit to tell you, but your side of the story is the part that needs to be told. So I don't know if you need to give the full details about the person or what the
Right.
situation was, but you can talk about what you had gone through and keep it anonymous.
Okay.
And you can tell your part of the story because that is your truth and it is your story to tell.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like this. Can you carve a little bit out of that story for you so that other people can see what you've gone through?
Yes. And I had a download come to me in the shower the other day that was something I went through, and um it was like, you have to share this. And I've been writing it
Good.
a couple days, and I was telling a couple people about it last night, and it's where Spirit told me I needed to pray for someone I didn't want to pray for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been I've been writing it. It's not necessarily a poem, but it's like an essay maybe. So a little different than what I've been doing, but it's something that I think is going to propel me a little bit. And that's because it came hard and fast. Like, you need to write this.
Yeah. And so follow those nuggets of gold. And I love that you're already doing that. You're getting the shower downloads. Those are my favorite way to get the downloads. Cause like I mean, that's the perfect description. It's like a shower download where you get all this information while your brain is off there, like doing something else. So there is such, amazingness in how you receive this information from spirit and how you follow it. And so this feels like continue to do that. But I think there's something about you needing to make sure that you're starting to share you and your story with the world, because it's not going to be, I'm going to say it this way, and this is a little bit of tough love from spirit. It's not going to be your poetry that sells you. It's going to be you that sells your poetry.
Okay.
Yeah. And it feels your mindset is very opposite right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Because your poetry is you. And so it's not like a business that you have a project, right? Where your project is like, here is the final result. And the executives are like, fantastic job. That's exactly what I asked for. Bravo. Here's your promotion. Here's your raise, right? It's
Right.
opposite in the poetry world because you are your poetry. You can't separate the two.
Right.
And so you are going to be you and your lovely face and your lovely energy. Because your energy is just like, it's like oh my God, it's like a giant field of wildflowers. Like that's what your energy feels like. It feels very soft. It feels very comforting, very soothing. It feels like it's very varied in a very lovely way. And it feels like you are so reflective and perceptive of everything that's around you. And it really honestly feels to me like, whether you know it or not, like you draw a lot of people in, and you just have to put yourself on display and the right people will come running.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So follow those downloads. Those downloads are telling you what, and I can't stress enough, because I feel like continue on the downloads, but this being seen and putting yourself out there is foundational to what else is to come. So, and I feel like, as you talk about this new direction of this essay or whatever this is, like, that's fucking cool. Don't distract yourself. You also need to do this.
Well, I think that's part of it.
Okay.
I'm not doing it separate. Like, it's going to
Good.
be part of it.
Good.
It's a different direction and the same path, if that makes sense.
Amazing.
I don't know how it all works out, but
Okay. So let me ask the big, I'm just checking in on the big picture with your poetry. And I'm getting this vision. And maybe this is a vision that you've had, or like, I don't feel like you have huge aspirational goals. I feel like you're just putting it out there and seeing what happens. Like, that's the energy I'm kind of getting from it. But also at the same time, I'm seeing like the shelves at Barnes and Noble. So I don't know if at some point you would hope to see your book on the shelves at Barnes and Noble.
for sure. I would love
Okay. Okay. Cause like this doesn't, the energy of it feels like a passion project.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, there's these two, but it's going to be you and your passion that gets you there.
I think I'm holding myself back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what steps to take to make it happen. Like, I think I've worried so much about the delivery of it that instead of just delivering it, I just don't do anything. And I met with like a business consultant who told me that I have to create reels and post reels like 2 to 3 times a week. And that's really out of my comfort zone. Like, I don't know how to do that. If I knew how to do it, I would probably do it. But more my comfort zone is posting pictures, like taking pictures, posting pictures. But he's like, well, in the world we're in now, it needs to be reels. So I think that put a mindset in me that I can't do it if it's not for real. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the problem with a lot of the consultants that are out there today. And I'm speaking as a former consultant, like, and I like that this is something that I know to be true is consultants have their shtick, right? They have their spiel and they have their I've seen this work. This is proven method. Go do this, right? They think that everything is A plus B equals C. But what I'm finding is that the consulting stuff doesn't work when it's heart led, because a lot of the stuff that the consultants will push is more algorithm, it's more logic based, it's more, this is what I've
Right.
seen, right? And that's great. That data is fantastic. And I would say it probably works for a lot of people, but it doesn't work in heart centered businesses. And the reason I say that, Katie, is because, like I said, you are the business, you are the energy of your poetry. So if you don't feel in alignment with doing reels, then reels aren't for you.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, like, and I would double check your ego. So whenever I'm saying stuff like this, just like double check your ego, because maybe that's part of you that doesn't want to be seen. I don't know. But if
Right.
it truly feels out of alignment, then stick with the pictures. And pictures with poetry makes sense to me.
I think maybe once I build up confidence
Yeah.
in what I'm in posting, that I could do a reel.
Yeah.
But start out just doing content with reels doesn't align with who I am right now.
Yeah. And maybe that will happen. So just honor you and honor your flow. And you're already receiving those amazing downloads from spirit. So just continue to just do what feels right, because I feel like if you push this too hard, too fast, the energy is just not going to be right.
Yeah. And I think that I agree. It just didn't feel right.
Okay. So honor that, honor where you're at, and don't worry too much about the timeline here. But I would agree, you need to get you out there one way or another. So I don't know if that's reels. I mean, I would definitely put a picture of you up on your social media. I would make sure your face is somewhere on wherever you're marketing this thing, because women buy from people they trust.
Yeah.
And if they don't know you, they can't trust you. They're not going to buy from you.
Okay.
And so, like, get you out there, even though that's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you can say, hey, I'm Katie. I live here. This is what I'm passionate about. I started doing poetry because of this, right? You can just start telling your story and start telling you. And so you are going to really sell this going forward. And so, like, just going to challenge you. I'm just going to push you a little bit, because it's like my podcast episode I did recently. Like, you can like, you've done the work for the poetry, and I love that. That's the law of action, right? And you've done the law of manifestation and the law of attraction, everything like that. But there's more steps to do for you in order for this to get to Barnes and Noble. So, like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. So step by step by step, follow your intuition. But your other business is the total opposite.
Yeah.
This is like a mind fuck, Katie, because I'm seeing the heart-centeredness of your poetry business. And then we're talking about the other business that you do with your husband. And that's total opposite. Like, if you hired a consultant for that, no problem.
Right.
Because it's logical, it's data-based, it's numbers, it's understanding demand, it's understanding the marketplace, and it's trying to figure that out. Right. And that's a whole different, that is not a heart-centered business. That is a throughput business. So let me ask about this business and what would you, I'm going to ask, I don't know, I didn't ask really anything about your business besides what it was. I'm feeling like there's not enough visibility with that business either. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it
Well,
feels very close. Okay. What do you mean by that?
well, we have a steady stream of customers, but they're the same customers over and over.
Customers. They're the same customers. And that's amazing. First of all, like, that's great that you have that foundation there. But yeah, as I'm kind of tapping into this, it feels like a very close circle. And I'm like, I'm not sure if it's geographically close, but I just feel like it's black and white. The people who know you, and the people who don't. Like, there's really not a lot of stretch there whatsoever. So let me see so referrals is going to be the way to go. Do you have a physical location with this one?
Yes. Yes.
I'm hearing and seeing like a customer appreciation event.
We're planning on doing one this spring.
Perfect. Cause that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like tables, I'm seeing food and
Yeah.
coffee, I'm seeing like barbecue.
The past, and we were going to plan another one.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. So, and then like, hey, bring a friend. Both of you get 25% off, right? Like bring a friend, bring a friend, bring a friend. So it feels like not only are you going to appreciate them, but then you're going to give them the discounts. They give it to other people. And I know that financially, like it's tight. I know
Yeah.
that financially it's really tight, but this is all about short-term gains or short-term like savings for long-term gains, like short-term giving up a little bit of money for long-term gains, because when people know you and your business, they love you. Like,
Yes.
I feel like you're bar none the best at what you do in the area. I feel like the quality is exceptional. The customer service is exceptional. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what you're doing is developing loyal customers.
Yeah.
And so you need to expand that loyalty. And I
Okay.
feel like there is a social media component to this as well.
Yeah, we have social media that my husband manages and he does post, but not regularly. So let's say
Okay.
once or twice a month or something like that.
Oh yeah, no, no, no. Mm-mm,
I know.
mm-mm, mm. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. So this is like a cheat sheet for all of you, including anyone that's listening. Go on to Chat GPT or go on to Claude AI. Claude AI, by the way, is more personable. So if you're looking for like written content, go to Claude. If you're looking for like tasks and strategies, go to Chat GPT. Go on to Chat GPT and ask for a marketing strategy for social media for your type of business and
Okay.
say, this is my goal. I want to increase revenue. I want to increase the visibility for clients. And they're going to give you what type of things you could do on a periodic basis on social media to do this. You can ask them for suggested social media content based on, so for example, what keeps popping up in my head is, and you correct me if I'm wrong, and I realize this might be a really small set of data to go off of with the limited postings that you do or your husband does today, but I feel like the postings today are more about what you do, like
Yes.
what service offerings. You need to reframe it for what the impact is for your clients.
Okay.
What value do you bring to your clients? Because you're not showcasing what makes you different, what makes your business unique. You're not showcasing that you have extremely loyal customers. You're not showcasing your excellent customer service, right? And
Okay.
so like so because what you do is a dime a dozen.
True.
True. Maybe not in your area, but
Oh,
across.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. So it's a dime a dozen. So your product does not differentiate you. Your service and the way that you and your quality differentiates you. So that's what you have to talk about on social media.
Okay.
So like customer reviews. Yes. How fast were you able to turn around some requests? Like, hey, was this a really custom request that your client came in with and you were able to source the parts and install them in X amount of days, right?
Okay.
You can say once we have a client that comes with us, they tend to come back 5 times, things like that about what makes you different and what makes you special. And then like, here's the fun part. Okay. And as I'm saying this, it's almost like the hairstylist model, because who doesn't, maybe besides you, who doesn't love getting their hair done and their hairstylist, takes a picture and puts their picture on social media and tags you. And then everyone fawns over you. They're like, oh, it's so gorgeous. It's so amazing, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you do some videos about your customers if they're okay with it? Right?
Yeah.
If they sign a little release form, or if they verbally say they're okay with you posting this on social media, like, hey, do you mind, hey, we installed this thing. Do you mind if you take a quick video of you telling you about it? Or maybe like take a video of what you did and tag the customer and be like, hey, it's John's lucky day. It's John's lucky day. Look at this amazing job we did for him.
Yeah.
And so it's not what makes you proud to be in that business.
What makes
Posting, yeah, like posting that on social media. What makes you proud?
us what makes us proud?
Yeah. because what you do when you post things that are proud, and this is going to be the same with your poetry stuff too. So you can really take both sides of this coin here. But what makes you proud about it is what is naturally higher vibration and more exciting and more passionate for you and maybe the husband as well. And so that energy translates into the videos.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's going to help immensely because I don't see, and I don't know how many staff you have. I don't know if you have any staff, but everyone is paid appropriately too. Like no one's severely underpaid or anything like that. And I know that's a weird thing for me to say.
We just have one person helping us right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause it feels like a really good place to work, right? Like, hey, let's introduce you to this person. Let's introduce you to me. Let's introduce you to the husband, your husband, the owners of the company. Again, get them to know you. It's gonna be less like that in your space, but it is gonna help you create that relationship with people. Because I
Okay.
have no doubt when your customers have problems, they have your husband on cell phone, on speed dial.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm.
So he's going to be the one that really sells that business,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So again, I don't, in terms of, because I'm tapping into like the business operations. At this point, quality is better than efficiency because
Yes.
quality is going to differentiate you. So I'm not going to tell you you should be doing anything differently in terms of the sourcing of your products, the way that you install it. Like everything looks like it is top tier. Customer service is top tier. So as I kind of chat or check into the energy of your business, I really don't see huge opportunities for changes there or improvements there. I will genuinely say that. And I feel like expenses, you've looked at those over and over and over again, and there's like no major expenses you can cut out.
Right.
Yeah, it feels very bare boned in terms of like expenses that are not necessary. So I'm going to tell you marketing, like you have already made your shop literally efficient. And now
Right.
it's time to just focus on upselling and finding those opportunities. And don't forget this, don't forget to ask your clients for referrals.
Right.
No one does that.
I mean, a lot of them do refer customers to us
Yep.
already. Definitely.
And then do you have thank you notes?
We should do that for sure.
Just super fucking cheesy, but do you have send thank you notes to the people who refer them? Really appreciate your business. Really appreciate that you refer, like it really means a lot to me. You're helping a local small business stay in business by that referral. And we really appreciate it. Who doesn't want that, right?
You froze up on me.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, those thank you notes, who wouldn't want a really cheesy thank you note that says, thanks, you kept this small business, in business, right? Like you contributed to the small business being successful and being able to stay open.
Right. Yeah, we can definitely do thank you notes. Even, I mean, obviously, if a customer refers someone, send them a thank you note for referring someone,
Yep.
but send them a thank you note for when they've been our customer again. I mean, we have a customer that's in monthly. Like he's just buying new cars just so that he can keep our business afloat.
I love that.
We've had his Porsche for a couple weeks.
Oh my goodness. That is so amazing. Looks like she froze for a second there. Maybe it's me. Maybe, oh, there we go. Okay. I was like, maybe I froze. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know.
froze on me again. I just
Okay.
off my Wi-Fi to
But
see.
I think this is lovely. And I think that in both avenues, like, here's the thing, the relationship between the two before I kind of close this out is you feel better when when the business with your husband feels stable.
Yes.
And so I want to tell you for now, until that business is stable, I feel like that's where your energy needs to flow to. And then take whatever extra time, take whatever downloads you get with spirit and put it into the poetry side of the house.
Okay.
Like when you need that balance or when you need that like push from a soul perspective, like that's, God, they're bugging me. Spirits are bugging me right now. I would just, it's like I just felt a room full of them just come in. I'm like, okay, chill out, everybody. But I would just, so I need you to know that you're divinely protected one way or the other, but focus on the business with your husband first, getting that stable, making that feel really good, and then bring it to yours and bring the attention. It doesn't mean that you can't do both at the same time, but I feel like you're nervous about the business with your husband, so you're kind of moving over to your poetry stuff a little more than maybe you should, and it feels like imbalanced where you're spending that time right now. I guess that's the way that I want to put it.
Okay. I am spending more time on his business than the poetry.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. I would say that's where you should be focusing for
Okay.
now. Yeah. And then like nights, weekends, or anytime you get the divine inspiration going towards the poetry one. But again, like that is a great time for you to build that foundation of getting on social media and just doing a couple posts and seeing what feels good for you.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So that is giving your husband and your business is giving you the time to get comfortable with feeling vulnerable and publishing things about yourself. So it's giving you the gift of time so that you can kind of grow that. But yeah, this is going to be a really interesting and fun journey for you. I love that you have to essentially like figure out the two different ways the completely different ways to market these two things very separately.
Yeah,
Because it's
definitely.
not frustrating enough, this life, right?
Yeah.
My goodness. Are there any other questions I can answer for you, Katie?
Um, I don't know.
Okay.
Um, I lost my mom last year.
Okay.
I wasn't even gonna bring her up, and I know she's around, but I just wonder if there's something I should be um looking for from
Oh,
her.
for signs from her.
I don't know if she would present herself. I have no idea.
So that might be who I felt come flying in here because it was just like a wall of energy. And I feel like that would be her personality is just a wall of energy. Like I feel like she's very lovely, but I feel like she's a little on the loud side. I gotta be honest with you, and a little bit like in your face.
I don't know if that would be her.
Then it might be for the next person I have a meeting with today.
Okay. She's not loud. She's more reserved,
um,
but
okay. Must be for the next person then.
she's definitely protective and
Yeah. Okay. So maybe that's the energy I'm picking up because it feels it's so I can't even describe the way that it feels. So let me see if there's anything your team wants to let me know about your mom that's departed. I'm so sorry for your loss. Let me see. I feel like she's always with you. And what they're highlighting for me is like, especially at night. And I don't know if you have trouble falling asleep or if you get caught in your brain at night and just overthink things at night. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like she's closest to you when you're able to kind of quiet your brain a little bit or when you're alone and make space for her.
okay.
But I do want to let you know she is always with you. That's not it. And I know that you see her know you ask for her, you ask her to send you signs, you ask her to like show me where you are. And I feel like she does send you a lot of signs, but I feel like it's going to be signs that are both traditional. So in terms of like birds or feathers or pennies, but also in terms of like things that were her. Like, I don't know what it is about her cooking or like the smell of her food, right? Like there's going to be some things that pop up that remind you specifically of her. And that's her too,
Okay. Yeah.
because she
That's
just loves you so much that she's not going to present to you in just one way. She's going to present to you in lots of different ways. And I just keep seeing um either hearing her name, seeing her name, seeing her initials. Like there's something about like her too with that for you. And it's less normally when I say that, those people are like when I say pay attention to numbers, those tend to be the people that are departed that are like bankers or work with numbers a lot. Then they'll send numbers. But because you are in poetry, I feel like she's gonna send you letters. She's gonna send you like initials, her name, and things like this. So pay attention to that.
she has a more unique old fashioned name. But my neighbor had a baby like about a month after my mom passed away and gave her daughter my mom's name
Of
as her
course.
middle.
Of course. So that's why I'm seeing the name. So that is her letting you know that I'm around. And so just that amazing, gentle reminder that whenever you hear that mom maybe yelling at this child and saying the first name and the middle name, you're going to be able to hear your mom's name.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, Katie. I really appreciate it.
Yes, it was great. Thank you.
Gosh, take care.
Thank you. You too.